Yes, chalo, good evening, all of you. Let us continue the next topic in this chapter. That is about the momentum, law of conservation of momentum. Okay, we have seen last time what is the Newton's second law, and now we'll see the law of conservation of momentum and the related concepts. See here, the law is very simple. Okay, its statement is uh, simply that so far as the no external force acts on the bodies, okay, colliding bodies, the total momentum of the system remains constant. ये सिंपल सा स्टेटमेंट जो है वो लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम कहलाता है. ठीक है, बट इसका जो डेप्थ है तो वो हमको अभी अंडरस्टैंड करना है. व्हाट डज इट एग्जैक्टली मीन? सी हियर, इट टेल्स अस सिंपली दैट if the force external force acting on the system of colliding bodies is zero, that means no force is acting on the bodies. Yes, sorry. चलो, तो basically if no force acts on the system of colliding bodies, then in that case we can say that the momentum means p actually remains constant. ये जो चीज है, this simple statement is called as the law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so basically simply it tells us that so far as no force is acting on the bodies, तो मतलब जब तक कोलाइडिंग बॉडीज के ऊपर बाहर से कोई भी फोर्स एक्ट नहीं करता है, तब तक जो बॉडीज है उनका जो टोटल मोमेंटम है वो कंजर्व होता है. ठीक है, द मोमेंटम बिफोर द कोलिजन एंड मोमेंटम आफ्टर द कोलिजन इज गोइंग टू बी द सेम. उसका सीधा सा एग्जांपल हम यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कि अगर मान लो एक बॉडी है, एक बॉल है जो कि मूव हो रहा है, ठीक है ना, वी इतने स्पीड से वो आगे बढ़ रहा है. ठीक है, और उसके बाद फिर इसके सामने एक दूसरा बॉल है जो कि रेस्ट में है. इट्स नॉट मूविंग, it's going to be at rest. Okay, so in that case when this ball will just collide with this one here, what happens is the अभी सपोज इसका मास जो है वो अगर मान लेते हैं m है, m, so what will happen after the collision is this ball will just come to rest and this one will just start moving with the same speed as this was moving with. तो जैसे कि आफ्टर कोलिजन वी कैन जस्ट सी दैट दिस बॉल हैज बीन, इसको हम चाहिए तो एक 1 दे देंगे और इसको 2 बोल सकेंगे. ठीक है, तो जैसे यहाँ पे कोलिजन होता है तो कोलिजन के बाद क्या हुआ, जो बॉल 1 है वो रेस्ट में आ गया, बट नाउ इन दिस केस द बॉल 2 इज नाउ मूविंग विद द सेम स्पीड v which this ball was moving with. तो मतलब पहले ये एक नंबर का बॉल मूव हो रहा था और 2 नंबर का बॉल रेस्ट में था, लेकिन अभी उसके बाद कोलिजन के बाद क्या हुआ, 1 नंबर का बॉल रेस्ट में आ गया और 2 नंबर का बॉल मूव होने लग गया. ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब हम ये बोल सकते हैं जरूर कि अगर इसका भी मास अगर मान लो m है और अभी ये v इतने वेलोसिटी के साथ मूव हो रहा है, सो व्हाट हैपेंस इफ बिफोर द कोलिजन वी कैन सी क्लियरली द टोटल मोमेंटम वाज mv plus 0. Do you agree with this? This is the total momentum before the collision. You can see mv is the momentum of this first ball and 0 is the momentum of the second ball because it's not moving. But what is the final momentum after the collision? So after the collision we can say that this ball is having the momentum 0 plus the total momentum of the second ball will be mv actually. So again we are going to get the same thing, that is 0 plus mv in this way. तो यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं पहले mv प्लस 0 मतलब mv था और अभी 0 प्लस mv फिर से mv है. इसका ये मतलब हुआ कि इस बॉल ने अपना जो मोमेंटम है वो इस दूसरे वाले बॉल को दे दिया और वो उसका मोमेंटम लेके आगे बढ़ रहा है. ये हम समझ सकते हैं कि देर इज अ जस्ट ट्रांसफर ऑफ मोमेंटम फ्रॉम वन बॉल टू अनदर बॉल. Whenever this happens, it's called as the according to the law of conservation of momentum, and this is the law of conservation of momentum which holds true here in this situation. We can see. So अभी ये तो चलो बहुत सिंपल सिचुएशन है जिसके अंदर एक बॉल मूव हो रहा था और दूसरा बॉल रेस्ट में था. जरूरी नहीं कि एक बॉल कोई तो भी रेस्ट में ही होना चाहिए. It may happen that both of the balls are moving, no doubt. So if suppose both of these balls are moving, for example like this, and again need not that both of the balls should be of same size or same mass, does it need not to be. So maybe that these balls may be moving with different velocities and different masses. See, suppose m1 and m2 are the masses of both of these balls, and suppose u1 and u2 are going to be the velocities of both of these balls before the collision. Okay, after some time these balls, obviously if u1 is greater than u2, then these balls will just approach each other, and at a particular point we can just say that they will just collide with each other. एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे क्या होगा, वो कोलिजन परफॉर्म करेंगे. बिल्कुल, सपोज यहाँ पे उन्होंने कोलिजन परफॉर्म किया. ठीक है, जैसे ही वो कोलिजन परफॉर्म करेंगे तो उसके बाद क्या होगा, देयर स्पीड्स विल गेट अल्टर्ड. उनके स्पीड्स चेंज हो जाएंगे ऑटोमेटिकली. जैसे ही कोलिजन होगा तो दिस फर्स्ट बॉल विल जस्ट अप्लाई द फोर्स ऑन द सेकंड वन, and the second also applies the same force on the first one, and because of these forces applied there is some change in the speed of these two balls. So far as they are in contact, they will exert some force on each other, and hence after collision, suppose this first ball starts moving with the velocity v1, we can say v1, and suppose after the collision the second ball just starts moving with the speed of v2, suppose. तो ये जो सेकेंड बॉल है वो v2 इतने स्पीड से मूव करना चालू करता है, ऐसा अगर मान लेते हैं. अभी ऑब्वियसली उनके जो मासेस है वो तो चेंज नहीं होने वाले. मास ऑफ द बॉल m1 and m2 is going to be the same. Even during the collision also the mass will remain the same, no doubt. But here the momentum has been changed. दोनों बॉल्स का मोमेंटम जो है वो चेंज हो गया है. बट इफ यू जस्ट टॉक अबाउट द टोटल मोमेंटम के बारे में अगर हम बात करेंगे तो यहाँ पे देखो, बिफोर कोलिजन how much is the total momentum, we can say. So the total momentum here will be the momentum of the first ball plus momentum of the second ball, which is going to be m1 u1 plus m2 u2. This is going to be the initial momentum. We can call it as pi. Okay, pi. And what about the final momentum, means the momentum after collision. तो collision के बाद उनका जो momentum है वो हम लिख सकते हैं इस तरह से, the momentum of the first ball plus momentum of the second ball, that is m1 into v1 plus m2 into v2, in this way. So this is, we can call it as a pf, that is the final momentum, total final momentum after the collision. Okay, now this initial momentum and final momentum is observed to be the same. Okay, we can just see that the एक बॉडी का मोमेंटम अगर थोड़ा कम हो जाता है तो दूसरे बॉडी का जो मोमेंटम है वो उतने ही अमाउंट से बढ़ जाता है, इंक्रीज हो जाता है. तो इसमें देयर इज सम एक्सचेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम बिटवीन द टू बॉडीज. ठीक है ना, देयर इज अ ट्रांसफर ऑफ मोमेंटम फ्रॉम वन बॉडी टू अनदर बॉडी, नॉट ऑल बट पार्शली. Some of the momentum of the first body just gets transferred into the second one. Because of that the momentum of both of the bodies get changed, but the total remain the same. ये हमको कहने की बात है, ये हम समझने की बात है कि the total momentum, if you just talk about, is going to be actually the same irrespective of the type of collision or direction of collision or number of bodies involved in the collision. Even अब यहाँ पे चलो दो ही bodies involved है और दोनों बॉडीज सेम डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं, ठीक है, बट इवन इट मे हैपन दैट दीस टू बॉडीज विल बी मूविंग इन अपोजिट डायरेक्शन. अलग अलग डायरेक्शंस में भी अगर वो मूव हो रहे होते हैं तो उस केस में भी हम ये पाते हैं, सपोज दिस इज द फर्स्ट बॉडी of mass m1 and this is the moving with the speed v1 u1 suppose, and this is suppose another body with mass m2 and it is moving with suppose another velocity which is u2 here. And then after the collision we can just see, suppose a collision takes place after some time, and after the collision suppose this body just get reborn. ओके, ये बॉडी जो है वो रिबाउंड हो गया और इस डायरेक्शन में चलने लग गया, तो ये जो बॉडी है वो इस डायरेक्शन में चलने लग गया, तो इसका जो स्पीड है उसको हम बोल सकते हैं v1, mass is still m1 and the mass of this body is still going to be m2, but the speed of this body will be v2, no doubt. In this case also we can just expect that the total momentum before the collision has to be equal to the total momentum after the collision, but here we have to remember that sign convention is important. Sign convention, momentum के बारे में sign convention क्या है? Cartesian sign convention, which we already know that suppose if we take this x-axis and y-axis and this is the origin, then all the quantities measured in the right side are positive, then the quantities which are measured left side are going to be negative, no doubt. This sign convention is to be used here. So if we use this sign convention, then we can just note that this u1 is going to be positive, and hence we can just say that the m1 u1 will get turned to be positive, but u2 in this case here is going to be negative. Why? Because the body is moving in the backward, means in the negative direction of x-axis, and that's why its velocity is taken as negative, no doubt. And this second body, first body जो है वो जैसे after collision it starts moving in the backward direction, so its velocity v1 has to be considered as negative and this v2 has to be considered as positive. That means आफ्टर द कोलिजन जैसे वो रिबाउंड होते हैं दोनों बॉडीज, तो होता क्या है ना कि जो बॉडी राइट तरफ मूव कर रहा था वो अभी लेफ्ट तरफ मूव करने लग गया, और जो लेफ्ट तरफ मूव कर रहा था तो वो अभी राइट की तरफ मूव करने लग गया. तो हियर वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट द साइन कन्वेंशंस हैव टू बी कंसीडर्ड बिकॉज मोमेंटम इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. ऑलरेडी वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन दैट द मोमेंटम इज वेक्टर क्वांटिटी, राइट. तो वो वेक्टर क्वांटिटी होने की वजह से यहाँ पे उसका साइन कन्वेंशन हमको यूज करना पड़ेगा, उनके साइंस भी कंसिडर करने पड़ेंगे. द मोमेंटम विच इज टुवर्ड्स राइट विल बी कंसिडर्ड पॉजिटिव, द मोमेंटम टुवर्ड्स लेफ्ट विल बी कंसिडर्ड नेगेटिव, एंड accordingly we can just get the law of conservation of momentum still true in this case also. In this case also we can just expect that the total momentum m1 u1 minus m2 u2 is going to be same as minus m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is to be understood here. So law of conservation of momentum is true in vector form. अब यहाँ पे तो चलो हमने एक वन डायमेंशनल कोलिजन का एग्जांपल देखा, नो डाउट. वन डायमेंशनल कोलिजन which tells us simply that the bodies are moving along x-axis only, but need not to be always. Maybe that the bodies are moving in a plane, or in worst case the bodies are moving in the space. Even in that case also the law of conservation of momentum is valid, holds true, no doubt. So for example, if suppose this is the simple example of कैरम बोर्ड, सपोज ये कैरम बोर्ड के ऊपर अलग अलग कॉइन्स पड़े हुए हैं, we have arranged them in this way, and suppose that this is the carom board, as we know that okay. Now suppose striker is kept here, and suppose we give some push to the striker. As soon as this striker is pushed in this direction, what will happen is it will just strike these coins, and already we know that striker is having the more mass, it's heavier than all the coins. ठीक है ना, मतलब ये जो coins के कंपेयर, कोई भी coin को अगर पकड़ लो तो coin के कंपेरिजन में हमेशा स्ट्राइकर का जो मटेरियल है वो थोड़ा हेवी मटेरियल से वो बना हुआ होता है, और इसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि जो मोमेंटम हमने स्ट्राइकर को दे दिया, ठीक है, इट विल जस्ट मूव टेकिंग दैट मोमेंटम, वो उस मोमेंटम को लेके आगे जाएगा, और जब इस पूरे ग्रुप के ऊपर कोलाइड करेगा तो क्या होगा कि डिफरेंट कॉइन्स will just move in different directions. Some coin will move in this direction, some coin will move in this direction, and randomly we can just see that when this collision takes place, what happens is the different coins just get different velocities. in different directions. But if we just think about the think carefully, अगर हम यहाँ पे ठीक से अगर केयरफुली अगर ट्रीट करेंगे इस पूरे सिचुएशन को, तो पता चलता है कि वट एवर इज द मोमेंटम ऑफ द स्ट्राइकर is going to be pi. We can say pi means the initial momentum. Okay, because all coins were at rest, so they don't have any momentum initially, but only striker was moving, and hence its momentum can be considered as pi, no doubt. But here after collision, what happens is different coins start moving in different directions. So we can just take the momenta of all these coins to be p1, p2, p3, p4, and so on like that, and that is also in vector form. Not only the magnitude, but we have to consider the vector form here. So p1 bar, p2 bar, p3 bar, these all are the vectors. Now if we just add all these vectors by using triangle law or parallelogram law, anyways, then we can just get a vector which will match with this vector itself, which represents the initial momentum. नंतर फोन करतो, लेक्चर झालं. Yes, so basically this happens in this case, that the initial vector, initial momentum vector with which this tracker is given with will be equal to the addition of, or vector addition. I am talking about vector addition. So vector addition of all the vectors, sum of all these vectors in this way. So we can just write here that pi bar is going to be p1 bar plus p2 bar plus p3 bar plus that is up to so on up to pn bar, where pn bar means all these are the momenta of all the coins which are moving after the collision. तो जो सब coins move करने लगते हैं, उन सब का momentum अगर हम vectorically add करेंगे, vectorically मतलब using either parallelogram law or triangle law. So using that laws, if we add all the vectors, then we can get a concrete vector, single vector, which will be exactly same as this initial momentum vector of the striker here in this way. So this is all about the law of conservation of momentum in vector form. You have to understand this correctly. Even whenever the bomb blast takes place, अब ये तो चलो ये भी प्लेनर मोशन का एग्जांपल हो गया. प्लेनर इसमें जो सभी जो पार्टिकल्स है वो एक प्लेन के अंदर मूव कर रहे हैं, कोई भी ऊपर छलांग नहीं लगा रहा है, कैरम बोर्ड के को छोड़ के कोई भी नहीं किधर भी नहीं जाएगा, नो डाउट. लेकिन अगर ऐसा होता भी है जैसे कि बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट के अंदर होता है, वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट whenever suppose bomb blast takes place, so in that case the different parts of the bomb are just thrown in different directions like this. कोई पार्ट इस तरफ थ्रो किया जाता है, कोई इस तरफ, ये सपोज अलग अलग पार्ट्स है, ये अलग अलग डायरेक्शन में थ्रो किए जाते हैं. तो उनके मासेस और उनके वेलोसिटीज आर एडजस्टेड by the nature itself in such a way that the vector sum of all these vectors or momentums will be exactly equal to 0 because it was 0 before. पहले भी ऑलरेडी 0 था, जब बॉम्ब रखा हुआ था तो उस समय टोटल मोमेंटम कितना था, 0. इसलिए ये जो सभी वेक्टर्स हैं ये ऐड होने के बाद फिर से 0 रिजल्टेंट प्रोड्यूस करेंगे जो कि ऑलरेडी पहले था. In the same way as we can already see that suppose there is a gun and suppose a bullet is fired from that gun. तो किसी भी गन में से अगर हम सपोज बुलेट फायर करते हैं, या सपोज गन है और उसमें से हमने बुलेट फायर किया, so as soon as this bullet just gets outside the gun, what happens is gun is just recoiled back. This gun moves in the backward direction with a very small speed, which can be calculated. But why this happens actually can be explained on the basis of this law of conservation of momentum. We can see initially when the gun bullet is not fired, in that case what is the mass of gun, we can call it as capital M. ठीक है, capital M को हम बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे, it is the mass of gun, no doubt. Okay, then small m is going to be the mass of bullet. Obviously it will be very small, so that's why we are denoting it by small m, no doubt. जो छोटा गोली उसके अंदर जो होता है उसका मास स्मॉल m है. Okay, and suppose that capital V is going to be the velocity of bullet and small v will denote it by the velocity of gun. ठीक है, उसको रिकॉइल वेलोसिटी भी बोलते हैं. और ये जो कैपिटल V है बुलेट का जो वेलोसिटी है उसको हम मजल वेलोसिटी भी बोलते हैं. याद रखो ठीक से, मजल वेलोसिटी. दिस कैपिटल V is called as muzzle velocity and this small v is actually called as recoil velocity. Okay, what happens here is exactly is whenever this gun is fired, okay, before firing the momentum of gun is also zero and the momentum of bullet is also going to be zero, no doubt. तो दोनों का मोमेंटम, टोटल मोमेंटम जीरो है, तो इसलिए हम बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे कि टोटल इनिशियल मोमेंटम जो है इट विल बिकम जीरो, नो डाउट. बट व्हाट अबाउट द फाइनल मोमेंटम? यू कैन कॉल इट एज PI. PI मतलब टोटल इनिशियल मोमेंटम which happens to be 0 plus 0, that means 0. That is actually it is not 0, it is O bar which has to be वेक्टर एक्चुअली, है कि नहीं? इसलिए उसको हमको O बार से डिनोट करना पड़ेगा, ना कि 0 से. 0 तो नंबर है ना, बट मोमेंटम इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेक्टर एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव टू डिनोट इट बाय O बार. चलो ठीक है, अभी आप एक समझ सकते हो कि अगर हम फाइनल मोमेंटम अगर निकालने के लिए ट्राई करते हैं PF बार, वी कैन से हाउ मच इट विल बी, how we can calculate it. So as soon as this bullet gets fired, so if we just consider this as a positive direction, ये जो right direction है वो positive direction है और ये जो left direction है उसको अगर negative direction consider करते हैं तो हम बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे कि as soon as this bullet gets fired with the speed capital V and its mass is going to be small v, so what can we have? The momentum of this bullet here, how much it will be? M into capital V. Small m into capital V, that will be the mass of the total momentum of the bullet. Whether it means it is positive or negative, it's going to be positive because bullet has been fired in the right direction. ठीक है, so right direction में वो fire हुआ है तो इसलिए उसका momentum हमको positive लेना पड़ेगा. So we can say that this small m into capital V has to be taken as positive, no doubt. Or we can just associate it with I bar. I bar means our vector, unit vector in the direction of x-axis. Okay, yes, very good. So and what about the gun? If you just observe the gun will be moving in the backward direction with a very small speed v and its mass is going to be capital M here. Okay, so since this gun is moving in the backward direction, so its momentum will be considered as negative, or we can just associate it with minus I bar. Minus I bar के साथ उसको हम associate कर सकते हैं. And we can just say that the total magnitude of this momentum will be capital M into capital M into small v, but it should be associated with minus I bar. So this is I bar and minus sign is here between. समझा ठीक से? So this is actually the momentum, total momentum after the collision or after the firing. So we can just see that if we just take I bar common from this whole bracket, then we can just be able to get that small m into capital V minus capital M into small v into I bar. This is actually going to be the final momentum after the collision. But as we can expect here that the total momentum after total momentum before and after must be equal, right? Because no external force is acting on the whole colliding system. And hence we can say that the total momentum before the collision, that is PI bar, should be exactly equal to the total momentum after the collision, which gives that PI bar is going to be 0, means O bar actually, which is going to be equal to PF bar, which is M into capital V minus capital M into small v, and that is multiplied by I bar. If we just express the coefficients, इसको हम 0 I bar भी लिख सकते हैं. तो I bar अगर coefficients अगर इक्वेट करते हैं तो हमको मिलता है 0 is equal to small m into capital V minus capital M into small v. If we just take this in this side, then we can be able to get that capital M into small v is equal to small m into capital V. Just note here what is the meaning of this small m, capital M, small v and capital V. So using this all these symbols here, अगर ये पूरा जो उसका मीनिंग है वो यहाँ पे अगर हम डाल देंगे तो हमको क्या मिलेगा, देखो कैपिटल M इज गोइंग टू बी द मास ऑफ गन, राइट? सो वी कैन जस्ट राइट दैट मास ऑफ गन into what is this small v here, it's going to be recoil velocity. Okay, it is recoil velocity. So mass of gun into recoil velocity is going to be same as, what is this small m here, it's the mass of bullet, you can see, and capital V is nothing but the mass velocity of bullet, which is called as muzzle velocity. So we can just say that this is mass of bullet into muzzle velocity, दिख रहा है ना, into muzzle velocity. Remember, so this formula can be derived in this way, and also we can just understand from this formula that the mass of gun is very large in magnitude, and that's why recoil velocity is very small, but the mass of bullet is very small, and that's why the muzzle velocity is very large, but the product is going to be the same. ठीक है, तो बुलेट का मास छोटा होता है, इसलिए उसका वेलोसिटी ज्यादा होता है, तब जाके वो उतना ही मोमेंटम बना पाता है जितना गन का बनता है. अब एक्चुअली गन का मास बहुत ज्यादा है, इसीलिए गन जो है वो पीछे आता है बहुत कम वेलोसिटी के साथ, उसका रिकॉल वेलोसिटी बहुत छोटा होता है. ठीक है, लेकिन जो प्रोडक्ट है वो दोनों का प्रोडक्ट दोनों का सेम ही होता है. ठीक है, इफ यू जस्ट मल्टीप्लाई द मास ऑफ गन एंड रिकॉइल वेलोसिटी, and if you just multiply mass of bullet and the muzzle velocity, we are going to get the same answer, which is the in accordance with the law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so this is the proof of this formula, which can also be used in the numericals or MCQs. इसके ऊपर MCQs भी पूछे जा सकते हैं. इन चारों में से कोई भी तीन चीजें आपको दी रहेंगी, तो उसमें से चौथा वाला चीज जो है वो आप निकाल सकते हैं आराम से कैलकुलेशन करके. बिल्कुल. So this is all about the law of conservation of momentum. बट चलो ठीक है, हमने लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम का स्टेटमेंट तो देख लिया, एग्जांपल्स भी देख लिए, बट व्हाट अबाउट द प्रूफ? वी कैन जस्ट प्रूव इट इन टू स्टेप्स. फर्स्ट इज दैट फोर्स इज ऑलवेज इक्वल टू मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन. करेक्ट है, ये हमारे पास ऑलरेडी है. If you just express this force to be simply equal to mass into acceleration, acceleration itself is the rate of change of velocity. Already we know that this acceleration can be written as dv by dt. Correct hai? And if we suppose take this m inside here, then we can just get this as f is equal to d by dt of mv. Here mv stands for the momentum, and hence we can just write that f is equal to dp by dt. ये हमको मिलता है. चलो ठीक है, ये तो वैसे भी न्यूटन सेकेंड लॉ भी तो है ना, तो जस्ट डायरेक्ट न्यूटन सेकेंड लॉ का जो स्टेटमेंट अगर देखेंगे, विच टेल्स अस दैट रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम इज इक्वल टू द फोर्स, तो उससे भी हमको ये स्टेटमेंट मिल जाएगा, ये स्टेप मिल जाएगा. एंड आफ्टर दिस स्टेप वी कैन जस्ट आर्ग्यू दैट if f is 0, then what will happen is dp by dt will also be 0. करेक्ट है, अगर f 0 होगा तो dp by dt भी तो 0 होगा, means derivative of p will be 0. and what does it mean? derivative of p 0 मतलब डेरिवेटिव किसका 0 होता है, हम ऑलरेडी जानते हैं. डेरिवेटिव के बारे में हमने ऑलरेडी मेथड ऑफ मैथमेटिकल मेथड्स के अंदर हमने सीखा है कि डेरिवेटिव सिर्फ कांस्टेंट नंबर का डेरिवेटिव 0 होता है. जो वैल्यू कांस्टेंट होता है उसका अगर हम डेरिवेटिव निकालेंगे तो 0 होता है. वैसे भी डेरिवेटिव का मतलब क्या होता है? रेट ऑफ चेंज. बराबर, रेट ऑफ चेंज. जो क्वांटिटी चेंज ही नहीं हो रहा है उसका डेरिवेटिव जरूर 0 होगा ना. तो इसका मतलब जिसका डेरिवेटिव 0 हो रहा है तो वो क्वांटिटी जरूर कांस्टेंट होना जरूरी है. तो इसलिए ये p जो है वो बनता है कांस्टेंट, बिकॉज dp by dt is going to be 0, means p must be constant, because derivative of constant is only 0. and that's why we can just argue that this is going to be the proof of law of conservation of momentum. Remember, even we can just prove it in from other point of view also. दूसरा एक टेक्निक से भी हम इसको प्रूव कर सकते हैं. बिल्कुल, तो उसके लिए हम थोड़ा सा अलग सेटअप करेंगे. चलो, अगर तुमको चाहिए तो ये वाला जो डेरिवेशन है उसका आप एक स्क्रीनशॉट ले सकते हो फटाफट, so that we can move further. Okay, now we'll see the proof of law of conservation of momentum. Consider two bodies, one is of mass m1 moving with velocity u1, and other one is of mass m2 and moving with velocity u2 in the same direction. Suppose that they come into contact for a very, very short time. For a time t, suppose, and then just start moving with their different velocities v1 and v2 respectively. ठीक है, m1 मास वाला बॉडी v1 स्पीड से मूव करने लगता है और m2 मास वाला बॉडी v2 स्पीड से मूव करने लगता है आफ्टर द कोलिजन. Okay, now what will happen here is, if we just talk about the first body, for the first body we can say, if we apply the Newton's second law, okay, just try to apply Newton's second law. What does it tells us is, see here, Newton's second law tells us simply that the force, देखो जब ये कांटेक्ट में आएंगे तो क्या होगा, the first body will experience a force due to the second body. We can call it as F12. Okay, so how much this F12 will be here? So F12 इक्वल टू क्या होता है, फोर्स इक्वल टू क्या होता है, चेंज इन मोमेंटम अपॉन टाइम हुआ करता है. रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम मतलब फोर्स होता है कि नहीं, तो इसलिए यहाँ पे चेंज इन मोमेंटम अपॉन टाइम. व्हाट इज द चेंज इन मोमेंटम ऑफ द फर्स्ट बॉडी? वी जस्ट केयरफुली सी, its initial momentum is going to be m1 u1 and final momentum becomes m1 v1. So what is the change in momentum we can expect? It's m1 v1 minus m1 u1, correct hai? And that is to be divided by the time t for which this body remains in contact with the second one. Okay, this is the equation or say Newton's second law constructed for the first body. Okay, if we just apply the Newton's second law on the second body, just try to apply how much it will be. At the same time, we can just say that the second body is also experiencing the force due to the first one. We can call it as F21. Okay, so how much this F21 bar will be, or F21 in magnitude? So what we can say is, it will be the rate of change of momentum of that second body itself, where the momentum of the first, second body initially was m2 u2, and its momentum after collision becomes m2 v2. So what is the change in momentum of the second body? It's going to be m2 v2 minus m2 u2, and that is to be divided by the same time for which both of the bodies are going to be in contact with, right? But according to the third law, okay, what can we say according to the third law of motion? So F12 or F21 is, if we consider them vectors, then in that case these F21 and F12 are going to be same in magnitude. Only the thing is that they are opposite in direction, right? And since they are in opposite in directions, we can just say that this F21 going to be same as minus of F12, correct hai? If we just use this here, then we can just be able to put all the values here. So F21 की वैल्यू अगर यहाँ पे डाल दो तो हमको क्या मिलेगा, देखो ठीक से, तो हमको मिलेगा m2 v2 minus ये m2 u2 upon t, which is going to be equal to minus of, see what is here, F12 बार का मतलब क्या है, देखो इधर यहाँ पे ये बन रहा है m1 v1 minus m1 u1, and that is to be divided by t again, so that we can just get t cancelled from both the sides. So we can just see that this t gets cancelled from both sides, and what we are left with is simply, because of this minus sign, these terms will get reversed in sign. Okay, इन दोनों का साइन चेंज हो जाएगा. तो इसमें नेक्स्ट स्टेप में हमको मिलेगा m2 v2 minus m2 u2, which is equal to, if we just distribute this minus sign inside, then we can be able to get that minus of m1 v1, and this will become plus. So minus of minus plus, and here it becomes plus m1 u1. And now if we just take this negative term in this side and this negative term in this side, ठीक है, तो क्या होगा नेक्स्ट स्टेप में, देखो तो हमको मिलेगा m2 v2 plus this is m1 v1 coming from that side, and which is equal to, here m1 v1 is kept as it is, and this m2 u2 will transfer to that side, so that we can just be able to say that if you just shuffle the terms, then we can just be able to get that m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to, here it will be m1 v1 plus m2 v2, and this m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is nothing but pi, momentum, total momentum before the collision, correct? And here this m1 v1 plus m2 v2 happens to be simply the total momentum after the collision, and this is nothing but the proof of law of conservation of momentum, which tells us simply that the total momentum before collision is going to be the same as the total momentum after the collision, which has been proved here. Literally, by using the Newton's second law and third law, we can just prove that the total momentum always remains constant in a system where no external force acts on the bodies. Okay, so just take this screenshot of this also. Okay. Okay, so we have seen already about the law of conservation of momentum in today's lecture. Let us stop here.